Comfort is quietly killing your potential. Every single day, you make 1,000 small choices. Snooze the alarm, skip the workout, eat the easy food, avoid the hard conversation. None of them feel like a big deal in the moment. That's the trap. Comfort doesn't destroy you in one blow. It erodes you one soft decision at a time until, years later, you look up and realize you became someone you never intended to be. The body and mind are built on the same principle. Whatever you don't challenge, you lose. Muscles that aren't worked shrink. Willpower that isn't tested weakens. Courage that isn't used disappears. Most people think comfort is safety. It isn't. Comfort is a slow, silent tax on your future self, and you're paying it every time you choose easy over necessary. The shocking truth is that the average person spends their entire life avoiding 20 minutes of daily discomfort, and in exchange, they trade away the version of themselves that could have run the marathon, built the business, saved the marriage, healed the body. Growth only lives on the other side of irritation, fatigue, and fear. If you're not uncomfortable at least once a day, you're not growing, you're maintaining. And maintaining in a world that keeps moving is the same thing as falling behind. Your mind is lying to you about your limits. When your body says, I can't, it's not telling the truth, it's negotiating. Science backs this up. Most people quit at around 40% of their actual capacity. The brain sends pain and fatigue signals early as a survival mechanism, long before you've reached your real limit. That means when you feel like collapsing, you likely have 60% left that you're leaving untouched every single day in every area of life. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, in your business, in your relationships. The wall you keep hitting isn't a wall at all. It's a door your own mind installed to keep you safe, comfortable, and small. Think about how disturbing that is. The biggest thing standing between you and the life you want isn't your boss, your circumstances, your genetics, or your bad luck. It's a lie your own brain tells you to protect you from effort. Once you know this, you can't unknow it. Every time you feel like quitting, you now have a choice. Believe the lie or push through it and discover what's actually on the other side. People who've done extraordinary things, survived impossible situations, built empires from nothing, broken records everyone said were unbreakable, didn't have different brains. They just stopped believing the first, I can't. They interrogated it. And so can you. Discipline doesn't care how you feel, and that's its power. Motivation is a liar with impeccable timing. It shows up when things are easy and vanishes exactly when you need it most. Waiting to feel ready is why most goals die quietly in January. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't ask permission from your mood. It doesn't check the weather, your energy levels, or whether you had a bad day. It simply executes. This is uncomfortable to hear because it removes every excuse you've ever used. I wasn't motivated stops being a valid reason the moment you understand that the people who succeed aren't more inspired than you. They're just less dependent on inspiration. They built a system so strong that feelings became irrelevant. Wake up at 5 a.m. whether you feel like it or not. Do the work whether you're excited or not. Show up whether it's convenient or not. This is the real difference between people who achieve extraordinary things and people who talk about achieving extraordinary things. One group acts regardless of emotion, the other waits for an emotion that may never come. Discipline is what fills the gap between the goal you set on your best day and the effort you give on your worst day. If your success depends on how you feel, you don't have a plan, you have a hope. And hope without discipline is just wishful thinking wearing a productivity app. Pain is not your punishment. It's your personal trainer. Society has trained you to treat pain, struggle, and suffering as signals to stop. But pain is actually data. It's your body and mind telling you exactly where your weakness lives, physically, mentally, emotionally. The problem is most people run from that signal instead of studying it. Every time you avoid discomfort, you also avoid the exact information you'd need to grow stronger. The people who build unbreakable mental toughness aren't the ones who feel less pain. They're the ones who change their relationship with it. Instead of asking, how do I make this stop? They ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single shift in framing turns suffering from an enemy into a coach. Think about the last time something truly hurt. A failure, a rejection, an injury, a loss. Painful? Yes. But if you look honestly, that exact moment probably taught you something no comfortable day ever could. That's not a coincidence. That's the mechanism. Difficulty is the only classroom where real character is built. Comfort only certifies what you already were. This doesn't mean seeking pain for its own sake. It means refusing to run from it the second it shows up. The callus you build on your hands from hard work is the same callus you can build on your mind from hard living. Stop fearing the fire. Start letting it forge you. Stand in front of the mirror and stop lying to yourself. Here's an uncomfortable exercise almost nobody does. Stand in front of a mirror alone and list every excuse you've made this month for not becoming who you say you want to be. Most people can't do this honestly for more than 30 seconds before they flinch. We are experts at lying to ourselves, softening our failures, blaming circumstances, rewriting our own story so we come out looking like the victim instead of the architect. But real change is impossible without brutal self-honesty. You cannot fix what you refuse to name. If you keep calling laziness burnout, keep calling fear being realistic, keep calling avoidance waiting for the right time, you will stay exactly where you are, dressed up in better excuses. The mirror doesn't care about your reputation. It doesn't care what you posted online or what you told your friends. It only reflects what's true. And the truth is usually this: most of what's stopping you isn't the world. It's the story you've been telling yourself about the world and about your own limits. This is uncomfortable because it removes every external villain and puts you back in the driver's seat. That's actually good news. If you're the reason you've been stuck, you're also the one with the power to get unstuck. Take accountability first. Everything else becomes possible after that. There's a whole other person living inside you that you haven't met yet. This is the most shocking truth of all. The version of you that exists right now, tired, doubting, comfortable, is not the final version. It's not even close. Buried under years of excuses, unused potential, and untested limits is a version of you that is disciplined, relentless, and dangerous in the best way. That person doesn't hit snooze. That person doesn't quit at 40%. That person has already run the race, built the business, healed the relationship in a timeline you haven't unlocked yet. The only thing standing between you and that person is repetition, the willingness to keep choosing the hard right thing over the easy wrong thing every single day until it becomes who you are instead of something you're trying to do. Most people go their entire lives never meeting this version of themselves because meeting them requires walking directly into the discomfort they've spent a lifetime avoiding. This isn't about one heroic moment. It's about the boring, invisible, uncelebrated repetition of showing up when no one's watching and nothing is being rewarded. Yet, that's where the transformation actually happens. Not in the highlight reel, but in the empty gym at 5 a.m., the quiet no to the excuse, the extra rep nobody sees. You already have everything required. The only question left is whether you're willing to go find it. What if everything you think you know about your limits is a lie you've been repeating to yourself for so long that it sounds like the truth? What if the wall you hit every single day, the one that makes you stop, that makes you say, I can't, that makes you tap out, isn't even real? What if it's just your mind's cheapest trick installed to keep you safe, comfortable, and small? Because here's what nobody wants to admit. Most people quit at 40%. 40%. That means 60% of your strength, your will, your capacity, untouched, unused, wasting away inside you while you convince yourself you gave everything you had. You didn't. You gave what was comfortable to give, and you called it your best. Look around. Look at the life you're living right now, the body you settled for, the excuses you've memorized so well they roll off your tongue without thinking. I'm too tired. I'll start Monday. It's not the right time. You didn't invent those lines. You inherited them from every other person who chose comfort and called it wisdom. Comfort isn't safety. Comfort is a slow bleed. It doesn't take your future in one violent moment. It takes it in inches, in snoozed alarms, in skipped workouts, in conversations you were too scared to have. And one day you wake up and the life you wanted became the life somebody else is living because they paid the price you refused to pay. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is information. Every time it shows up, it's handing you a map straight to your weakness. And most people burn the map instead of reading it. You want to know why some people become unbreakable? It's not because they feel less pain than you. It's because they stopped running from it. They stood in it. They let it teach them instead of terrify them. Stop lying to yourself in that mirror. You know exactly what you've been avoiding. You know exactly which excuse you dressed up to sound reasonable. Burnout, bad timing, bad luck. Say it plainly. You were scared and you chose comfort. That's it. That's the whole story. And the moment you stop blaming the world is the moment the world stops having power over you. Motivation was never going to save you. Motivation shows up for the highlight reel and disappears the second things get hard, which is exactly when you need something else. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't check your mood before it laces up your shoes. It moves whether you're inspired or not, whether you're ready or not, whether the world is watching or not. There is a version of you that has already done it, already built it, already healed it, already become it. That person is not a fantasy. They're buried under